Hi everyone, you're watching Explore to Shine with Anu.
Before proceeding to the video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done, and also hit the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload a new video. With no further delay, let's quickly dive into this video.
This is the fifth session of Tally, and in this video we are going to learn about vouchers. So what is voucher? In manual accounting, each and every business transaction will be entered into a single book which is called as journal, or in multiple books which is called as subsidiary books. But in computerized accounting system, we do it with the help of vouchers. So vouchers, it is used to enter the details of transaction. Got it? So what is voucher? So voucher is a document which contains the details of transaction. Whenever any transaction takes place, that will be entered into vouchers. There are 18 types of vouchers by default: contra voucher, credit note, debit note, delivery note, journal, memorandum, payment, physical stock voucher, purchase, purchase order, receipt, receipt note, rejection out, rejection in, reversing journal, sales, sales order, and stock journal. So these are the 18 types of vouchers which you have by default. And these vouchers are being classified into two types. You have accounting vouchers and inventory vouchers. Accounting vouchers are used to record all account related transactions. So all the transaction that affects the cash will be entered into accounting vouchers, and the vouchers and the transaction that is related to inventory system is being entered into inventory vouchers. So accounting vouchers are used to record all account related, cash related transaction. Inventory vouchers records all the transaction that affect the inventory system. Examples: receipt and issue of stock, the transfer of stock between godowns, and physical stock vouchers. All these will be entered in inventory vouchers. Coming to accounting vouchers, Tally is pre-programmed with a variety of accounting vouchers, and each one is designed to perform a different job. So let's see some of the accounting vouchers. So first one, we have contra voucher, and the shortcut key for this is F4. Payment voucher, F5, receipt voucher, F6, journal voucher, F7, sales voucher, F8, credit note voucher, control F8, purchase voucher, F9, debit note voucher, control F9. So all these are accounting vouchers. So let's learn these vouchers in detail. Coming for contra voucher, and the shortcut key, I said it is F4. Whenever any transaction that indicates transfer of funds is being recorded into this contra voucher. Any transaction indicate transfer of funds, that is cash account to bank account, bank account to cash account, and bank account to bank account will be entered into this contra voucher. It's very simple as it. So whenever you're depositing money into the bank, then it has been entered in contra voucher. Withdrawal from money from the bank is also being entered in contra, and whenever you're transferring the amount from one bank to another bank, then also it is being entered in contra voucher. So the three places where you're using contra voucher is depositing of money, withdrawal of money from bank, and transferring the money from one bank to another bank. Only these three transactions will be entered into contra voucher. I think now you're clear with the contra voucher. Let's see with the example. So first one, depositing into Canara Bank rupees 50,000. So as I said, whenever you're depositing money into any bank, it will be entered in contra voucher. So let's see what are the ledgers required for this. So one, we know it is Canara Bank. The other one is cash account. So Canara Bank, can you tell me the group? So yes, any bank account will come under bank, and here bank account will be on the debit side. Why on the debit? Because bank is a receiver. It is a personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here we are depositing into bank. We are the giver and bank is a receiver. So debit the receiver. So bank is a receiver. That's why you're putting on the debit side. And cash account, it is real account. And the group is cash in hand. Cash goes outside. Cash goes from the business to the bank. That's why it has been put on the credit side. The rule of real account, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So cash goes outside, so you're putting on the credit side. So next statement, withdrew cash from Canara Bank, rupees 12,000. So here the two accounts, ledger accounts involved here. Again, it is cash account and bank account. In this case, bank is the giver. So bank will be on the credit side. So remember, when you are depositing into bank, bank is the receiver. So you're putting on the debit side. When you're withdrawing money from the bank, bank is the giver. So you're putting on the credit side. So the next statement, transferred rupees 10,000 from Canara Bank to SBI Bank. Here the two ledger accounts are Canara Bank and SBI Bank. So both comes under personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. In this transaction, we know that SBI is the receiver, so it comes under debit, and Canara Bank is a giver, so you put it on the credit side. Hope you understood this. So when you're using contra voucher, only when you're depositing money into bank, withdrawing the money from bank and transferring money from one bank to another bank. Only in these three cases we are using contra voucher. Let's move on to the next type of voucher, payment voucher. The shortcut key for payment voucher is F5. So as in contra voucher, I said it is used in three places. Similarly, we can say payment also is used in three places. So that is, whenever you're making payment for any expenses, it can be for cash or you're paying by check. That will be entered in payment voucher. Drawings also comes under payment voucher. What is drawings? The money which is being withdrawn by the proprietor. So money goes outside the business here. So it comes under payment voucher. And if you're buying any asset for cash, see, when you're buying an asset, you're making payment for it. Isn't it? You give cash and then buy the asset. So that is being recorded in payment voucher. So the three places where you're using payment voucher is any expenses is being paid either by cash or check. Drawings is being recorded in payment, as well as if you're buying any asset for cash, then also is being entered in payment voucher. Hope you're clear with this. Let's go with the example. So first one, paid rent to landlord rupees 15,000 by check. So here, let's find out what are the two types of ledger accounts we have to create. So one is rent. Here, rent is being paid by check. So the other account you have to take it as bank. Okay, just remember, in payment voucher, one side will be bank account or cash account. If you remember this, it's very easy. Only one account you need to find. So what is that? The first statement, paid rent to landlord. What are you paying? Rent. So the first account is rent account. How you are paying? It is by check. So the other account will be bank account. So let's see about rent account. So rent account is a nominal account and it comes under the group called indirect expenses. We know all expenses come on the debit side and bank is a giver here. So you're putting on the credit side. So the next statement, paid salary rupees 20,000. I said one side will be cash or bank. Here you don't have by check. So the one account is cash. The other account is salary. So salary is an expense you're putting on the debit side. And the next one, withdrew cash rupees 12,000 for personal use. So what is the money which is being withdrawn by the proprietor for personal use called as? Yes, it's drawings. So drawing, one account is drawing, the other account is cash. As I said, one side you will have only cash and bank. So here it is cash. So drawings, it comes under capital account. Here the owner is a receiver. So you're putting on the debit side. The next statement, purchase building from Sumi Constructor for rupees 15 lakhs. Sorry, it is for cash. Purchase building from Sumi Constructor for rupees 15,000 for cash. Take it as for cash. So one account will be building, the other account will be cash. So make it as cash there, purchase building for cash. So one side is a cash account, the other account will be building. Only when you're buying building for cash, that is asset for cash, only then it will be entered in this payment voucher. Please make a change in this, purchase building from Sumi Constructors for cash rupees 15 lakhs. So one is building, the other one is cash. I said one side there will be bank and cash and it will always be on the credit side. So rent, salary, drawings, building, all this will come under debit side. So rent, because it is an expense, nominal account rule, debit all expenses and losses, so you're putting on the debit side. Salary is an expense, so debit side. Drawings, owner is a receiver, so you're putting on the debit side. Personal account rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. And building is an asset, so asset comes under debit side. Hope you're clear with this. Correct the statement. Purchase building from Sumi Constructor for cash rupees 15 lakhs. So next one is receipt voucher F6. Whenever you're receiving money, whenever there is income to you, then it is being entered in receipt voucher. That can be either in any form. Either you're receiving cash or check. It will be entered in receipt voucher. That is one case where you're using receipt. The second case where you're using receipt voucher is capital. So what is capital? Money invested by the proprietor. When the owner invests money, money comes inside the business. There is an inflow of money for the business. So it is being recorded in receipt voucher. And the third place where you're using receipt voucher is if you're selling any asset for cash. Any asset sold for cash is also entered into receipt voucher. Why? When you're selling the asset and if you're receiving the cash immediately, there is inflow of money for you. You receive the cash immediately, so it is being recorded in receipt voucher. So the three places where you're using receipt voucher is income earned either by cash or check. The other one is capital and any asset sold for cash. Got it? So let's see with example. So first one, received interest from Suresh rupees 5,000. Received commission from Umesh rupees 16,000 by check. Vinay commenced business with cash rupees 7 lakhs. Sold furniture to Ram rupees 8,000 for cash. In receipt voucher also, one side will be cash or bank. Remember this, one side will be cash and bank as in payment voucher. In payment voucher, cash and bank will be on the credit side. In receipt voucher, cash or bank account will come on the debit side. So first statement, received commission from Suresh. So you need to identify only one type of account. The other one is cash or bank. So the first statement, received interest from Suresh, rupees 5,000. So what are the two types of ledger account? One is received interest. The other one is, it's not given by check, so it is cash. So as I said, one side will be cash or bank. No need of taking Suresh account. Received means it has been, you have already received. There is no due from him. So that's why you're taking as cash. So one is received interest, the other one is cash. Received interest is an income. So it will come on the credit side. Cash, there is inflow. It comes inside. It is a real account. Debit, what comes in? Cash comes inside. So that's why you're putting on the debit side. The next statement, received commission from Umesh, rupees 16,000 by check. So here we have a word called by check. So one account will be bank. The other account is received commission. Received commission is an indirect income. So incomes will be on the credit side according to the nominal rule. Next one, Vinay commenced business with cash. Who is Vinay here in this case? He is the proprietor. A person who invests money is called as proprietor, and the money invested by the proprietor is called as capital. So here one account is capital, the other account is cash. So capital, it is on the credit side and cash will be on the debit side. And the next one, sold furniture to Ram, rupees 8,000 for cash. So you are selling an asset for cash. So it will be entered in receipt voucher. One is furniture account. The other one is cash account. So as I said, in receipt voucher, one side will be bank or cash and it will be always on the debit side. The other account will be on the credit side. Got it? The next one, journal voucher, and the shortcut key for journal voucher is F7. So journal voucher is an adjustment voucher which is used for non-cash transaction, like adjustment between ledger accounts. Examples, you can say whenever you have depreciation for an asset, outstanding expenses, prepaid income, all this will come under journal voucher. We pass a journal voucher when we want to adjust amount between two or more ledger accounts without affecting cash or bank account. Clear? So, in journal voucher, cash or bank will not be involved. It will not affect cash or bank account. Then, any asset bought or sold for credit is also entered in journal vouchers. If you're buying an asset for cash, then you put it in payment voucher. If you're selling an asset for cash, you put it in receipt voucher. If it is for credit base, if purchase of asset or sales of asset on credit base, it has been entered in journal because here we are not receiving the cash. Non-cash transactions are entered into journal voucher. Your cash has not been involved. That's why you're putting into journal voucher. So let's see with an example. First one, depreciation on building at 5%. In journal voucher, remember, you will not have cash or bank. Cash account or bank account will not be involved in this. So, One account is depreciation on building. The other account is what is being depreciated. It is building. The other account will be building. So, and building is an asset. Asset is on the debit side. Actually, usually when you see assets all comes on the debit side. But here, why building is it on the credit side? Because the value of building is being decreased. If there is increase in the value of asset, only then you put on the debit side. If the value of asset is being decreased, then you put it on the credit side. So here the building value is decreased. That's why it comes on the credit side. Got it? So the next one, outstanding salary. One account will be outstanding salary. The other account will be salary. Salary is an expense, so debit side. Outstanding salary, it is current liability. The liabilities will come under credit side. I think there's no confusion in this as in the previous entry. We know expense is debit side, liabilities on the credit side. Next one, prepaid insurance rupees 5,000. One is prepaid insurance, the other one is insurance. Prepaid insurance is an asset and insurance is an expense. So expense will come under, yes, it's nominal account. It is on the debit side, and asset is a real account. And usually we put this also on the debit side. But here in this case also, one should be on the debit side and other should be on the credit side. So I said there is a rule for asset. If the value of asset is being increased, you're putting on the debit side. So prepaid insurance, asset value increases, so you're putting on the debit side. Insurance, it is indirect expense. Same rule for this. Expenses increases, you're putting on the debit side. Expense, if there is decrease in expense, you're putting on the credit side. So insurance, expense is being decreased. There's no need of you paying for the next. That's why it's been entered in credit side. The next one, bought furniture from Prakash rupees 7,000 for credit. So one account is furniture. Furniture is an asset. If you're buying asset for credit only, then it will come in journal voucher. So one is furniture, the other account will be Prakash account. So furniture is an asset, so you're putting on the debit side. Prakash will come under sundry creditors. Why sundry creditors? Who is a creditor? A creditor is a person to whom the business owes money, to whom the business has to pay the money. Because we have purchased furniture from Prakash for credit base, business has to pay money to Prakash, and that's why he's called as creditor. So you're putting under credits. That is, the group is sundry creditors. So another easy way to understand, you're purchasing furniture. So purchase comes under debit side. So that is furniture comes under debit side. The other account will be on the credit side. So the person from whom you're buying, it always comes under sundry creditors. So next one, sold machinery to Vikas rupees 6,000 for credit. So here machinery is one account and Vikas. So machinery is an asset because it is going outside. Asset goes outside, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. We are selling it, it goes outside, so it is on the credit side. And the other account is Vikas account. It comes under sundry debtors. The next voucher is F8, that is sales voucher. It's very easy. Goods sold by the business either for cash or credit is being entered in the sales voucher. No other entries. If you're selling any other things or properties or asset, it will not come under sales voucher. Only the goods sold by the business are being entered in the sales voucher. So example, you can say sold goods rupees 3,500, sold goods to Rakesh for rupees 12,000 on credit. So the first case, one account sold goods is called as sales. One account is sales. The other account is cash. And the next statement, sold goods to Rakesh on credit. One account is sales. The other account is Rakesh. So here, sales account will be on the credit side. The other account may be cash or Rakesh account will be on the debit side. So sales, it is always on the credit side. Just remember this. So next type of vouchers is credit note voucher, and its shortcut is Ctrl F8. So the goods returned by the customers are entered in credit note voucher. So example, you can say goods returned by Rakesh rupees 6,000. So the two types of ledger we have to create are sales returns and Rakesh. Sales returns comes under sales account and it will be on the debit side. Sales on the credit side, sales returns will be on the debit side. And Rakesh, sundry debtors, and it is on the credit side. Next we have purchase voucher, and the shortcut key for purchase voucher is F9. Purchase of goods, be it for cash or credit, are entered in this purchase voucher. So whenever you're purchasing goods, that will be entered into purchase voucher. So example, you can say purchase goods from Sanjay for cash rupees 12,000. The next statement, purchase goods from Dinesh rupees 6,000 for credit. The first statement, purchase goods or bought goods from Sanjay for cash. One account is purchase and purchase is always on the debit side, and cash, the other account is cashier. Cash account will be on the credit side. So purchase goods from Dinesh. One account is purchase. The other account is Dinesh account. Purchase will come on the debit side and Dinesh on the credit side. So in the statement, say suppose the second statement, purchase goods from Dinesh rupees 16,000 for credit. So the word for credit is being given here, and if it is not given also, it is understood that it is on the credit base. Only in the statement, if you're having for cash, then cash has to be taken into consideration. If not, if it is not being mentioned for cash, then it is understood, then it is on the credit base. So lastly, coming for debit note voucher, and the shortcut key for debit note is Ctrl F9. So this voucher will be used when the goods is being returned to the supplier. Whenever you are returning the goods to the supplier, then it will be entered in debit note voucher. Examples, goods returned to Dinesh rupees 2,000. So here the two types of ledger accounts are, one is purchase returns, the other one is Dinesh. Purchase returns, it is under purchase account. Purchase will be on the debit side, purchase returns on the credit side. So Dinesh, it's under creditors and we are putting on the debit side. Dinesh is under debit side. Hope you have understood about vouchers, and in my next videos, let's see how to post these entries in Tally ERP9.
That's all for today's session. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and make sure you share it with your friends. See you in my next video. Until then, take care and keep smiling.